Satnam. You get me at a different angle today. My tripod broke. So we got utilization of yoga blogs. Okay, welcome. Good morning to whenever you are tuning in to our daily practice. Today is day 4 of our journey. And how are things going for you? This is still kind of like the honeymoon phase, and it will continue to be that until about when we get to the teen days. Then it will start getting different. I'm not gonna say what. It might be different for you than it is for me, but generally the journey is a bit wavy. So we will tune in and begin our practice. We're doing 2 meditations: 4-stroke breath to build intuition, and meditation for self-blessing and guidance by intuition. Both are based on pranayama, breathing exercises. Not difficult, but extremely beneficial for these times. And I will begin. So bringing your hands together, begin to rub them briskly. Sitting comfortably and easy seated or on a chair with feet flat on the floor. Bringing the hands in front of the heart center. Let's inhale deeply and exhale. Inhale again, lengthening the spine. Exhaling. Inhale and suspend the breath. Just savor, retain this breath. Sensing your environment within the body and outside of the body. And exhale. Let's inhale to tune in with Adi mantra. Om Namo Gurudeva Namo. Om Namo Gurudeva Namo. Om Namo Gurudeva Namo. Inhale deeply, suspend the breath, and lift the root log. And exhale. Very well. So yesterday I was talking about tuning in, that it takes some practice. If you feel called to do that on your own time, I invite you to pay attention to not necessarily the volume of your voice, but where your tongue touches on the upper palate and how certain sounds create vibrational resonance in your, I'm going to say, oral cavity and the nasal passages. So just experiment with that, because I've studied with different teachers and taken a lot of different classes where tuning in is always different. And when you're in a group, it's one thing, but when you're by yourself, this is the time to explore your own calling to your soul. And there were many times where I practiced And I would sit and I would tune in, and it just didn't feel right. And I would tune in and tune in and tune in. And then my whole practice for however long time just ended up chanting this mantra until I felt something. Like, I was like, oh yeah, that's a good one, you know? And then I try to replicate it and like attune to that. So it's almost like you will find your resonance. You will find your, I don't know, I'm not so musical, but like your pitch, your vibe that would feel, there will be a feeling following that when you get it to what resonates with you. There will be a feeling that emerges, like it's a feeling of for me it was yummy. It was just like sweet. It was delicious. It was like, oh. And it was a feeling of, if I was a little baby, I would want my mommy to sing a lullaby like that. That was the feeling. It was a feeling of hominess, coziness, and warmth. And of course, all of that encompasses love. And so just practice it and just notice how at certain syllables, the position of the tongue is almost like electricity in the mouth. And so experiment with that. Okay, so 4-stroke breath, again, through the O-shaped mouth. Our mudra is interlacing the fingers with the Jupiter fingers extended up, right under the tip of the nose. Your eyelids are down. You're just like in a dreamlike state. So you don't close them fully, even though it's very tempting to do that. And to help with the breath for 4 strokes, I invite you to mentally chant Sa, Ta, Na, Ma. Now, as we're moving on to this journey and deepening our practice, I'm going to encourage you to try to really fill up your lungs in those 4 strokes. And then when you're exhaling powerfully, engaging the navel, push all the breath out. So it's we've gotten to the phase where it's a little bit more familiar to us. We know what we're doing, and now it's kind of like every day is an opportunity to tweak it a little bit, to refine it a little bit. And I don't want to say perfected, but that's kind of ultimately what we're doing. But how would you know when it's perfect? You wouldn't know. Yeah, I don't know. But there's a feeling that comes with it. And for me, the feeling of not thinking about it, not thinking about what I'm doing, and not being so edgy with it. And what I mean by edgy is the breath is really flowy. Even though I'm segmenting the breath in 4 strokes, it's a little bit smoother. It's like polishing the corners, so they're not so sharp. And exhale. So not a strong effort, and more like my body is doing the things for me. It's not me forcing it to do it. And just, yeah, so that would be the refinement of it. But it might be different for you. And if it is that, I would love to hear about it. I would love to read about it. So don't be shy to comment below. Okay, so anything else I missed to say? Nope. All right, so here we go. Hands at the throat level, fingertips of the index fingers are at the tip of the nose, lowering the eyelids down. Let's take a deep inhale first. Exhale as you release the shoulder blades down, tuck the chin slightly back, and begin through 4-stroke breath through the O-shaped mouth. Mentally, sa, ta, na, ma, and exhale. Deeply inhale. Retain the breath as you stretch the arms out to the side, palms facing up, and really stretch. Lift up the root lock. Retain the breath. Through the nose, exhale. Keep the arms stretched out. Inhale again. Stretch up horizontally through the arms, vertically through the spine. Lift up the root lock. Exhale. Spread the fingers wide, make them tight like steel. Inhale. Stretch up and squeeze your entire body. Really stretch. Tighten the fingers out. Exhale. Bring the hands down. And just hold this meditative space for a moment. Notice any sensations in the body. Notice the thought forms in the mind. And when you're ready, take a deep inhale and exhale. And gently open your eyes. Well done. Moving on. I like these combination practices. There's something special about them. And I'm staying warm with my mud water. You could drink anything you'd like except coffee. Coffee and meditation don't necessarily jive together, although I have done it, especially if you're a beginner. If you're a seasoned practitioner, then I guess it wouldn't matter. But for a beginner, coffee is a stimulant and it makes it really hard. Okay, our second meditation is the self-blessing, which I feel is so appropriate for the times where Venus is in retrograde. How do you give yourself self-love? So yesterday I talked about some of the things we do, and I am curious to know what is your rituals? What are your rituals for self-care and self-love? I have a stack of books about this big that I'm just dying to read. But there's also a feeling of the holiday vibes in the air, and I'm gravitated to cook some unique special things that I don't normally do. So everything plays out according to the plan, divine plan, and there's not a feeling of resistance for me, and there is not a feeling of forcing myself to do something. So this whole year I've been really, especially towards the end, I've been really focusing on finding my flow. And I remember where I used to say, like, I just want to flow with life. And somebody would say, yeah, dead fish float. It was really upsetting. But Deepak Chopra says, finding the path of least resistance. Life flows through us. And it is truly remarkable that we could have a mind chatter letting us know what we need to do. You know, we're all these busy beings. We have lists of things that we need to accomplish in a day, deadlines, bill payment, cleaning, sorting, shopping, cooking, spending time, homework with kids, whatever it is. Yes, it's absolutely necessary that we do things that are necessary. But also at the same time, I found that if I devote just a little bit of time by myself in a quiet space, doing something that I usually push off or put off for later, if I do that first, then miraculously the day aligns where I'm able to hit all the other markers of things that I needed to get done. And when I say this, don't get me wrong, it's not every day that that happens. It's like magic. One day it works, and one day there's a little bit more friction, and one day it's like, wow, I can't believe that just happened. That's like so good. I was so productive. I measure the quality of my life by productivity. I can't erase that programming just yet. It's very hard for me to sit content if I've spent most of my day just chilling, just as my son says, vibing out. It's very hard to measure it in productivity. So then I'm changing my programming and thinking that, okay, if I spend the day vibing, which means, maybe I was outside, maybe I was reading some articles, maybe I was writing in my journal, maybe I was filling out my planner with all my appointments. It's just like little things. And maybe I was curled up on in my chair with a hot cup of malt water. It is not necessarily an unproductive day. It is, to me, then I call it a healing day, a recharging day, a day of reboost. And so just see how that lands for you. So because we tend to be so harsh on ourselves in terms of judging ourselves on productivity. But productivity, the opposite of it is restfulness and recuperation and decompressing and also recharging. So we're like stocking up on that energy that in the days to come will be necessary for us to be productive. So it's kind of like ebb and flow. So in this particular meditation is an 8-stroke breath through the nose, inhales and exhales, and then suspension of the breath. So again, I invite you to sit up with a good yogic posture because it really makes it easier to hold the breath out. And then the hands are up overhead, thumbs are down, and 4 fingers are all together. It's creating like a little dome. Now let's take a deep inhale and exhale. Setting the shoulder blades down. Eyes are not fully closed. And we begin to inhale and 8 strokes through the nose. Exhaling through the nose, 8 strokes. And now keeping the breath out for 16 strokes or 16 seconds. Now here it is necessary that we involve the mantra, mentally chanting as we inhale through the nose, 8 strokes, sa, ta, na, ma, sa, ta, na, ma. Exhaling 8 strokes, chanting sa, ta, na, ma, sa, ta, na, ma. Continue with the mental chant. It helps keep count. Now deeply inhale. Stretch the arms up and slightly lean back and open up the throat chakra by leaning the head back, stretching the chin upwards. Exhale. Inhale again, stretch the arms. Gently stretching the neck back without hurting the cervical spine. If there's any issues with the neck, be gentle. Exhale. Inhale last time. Exhale, bring the arms down. Maintain this meditative space for a moment. And take a deep inhale. Exhale. When you're ready, gently open your eyes. Awesome. All right, this concludes our practice. I'm hoping to get a new tripod so that it's a little bit elevated and I don't look like I'm a giant looking at the screen. Sealing the practice with the breath of gratitude. Inhale deeply. Exhale. Inhale for Sat Nam. Sat Nam. Sat Nam, wishing you all a beautiful holiday. For those of you who are celebrating Christmas, may the fire within you be ignited with joy, love, compassion, and may you experience peace. I'll see you tomorrow. Sat Nam.